Alright, so here we are. Friday afternoon. A very nice Friday afternoon, actually. The whole week's been really nice. I wonder if that's what's affected my mood. Hope that traffic doesn't fuck with the sound. Either way. I know normally I've been doing this while I put my groceries away, but I already put my groceries away. Hey, I got everything done a little early today. It's not even quite 4 o'clock yet, and I got everything taken care of. Been a busy little beaver this week. Not really, actually. I've been trying to keep myself busy to keep my mind distracted because for some reason on Monday, I already made a video about this, but on Monday I went into a full-on just depressive cycle. I have no fucking clue why. Monday was a really bad day. It really stressed me the fuck out. And this whole week has been kind of fucked up. Not quite to the levels I was, the past couple of weeks. This wasn't a full-on depression case like it was a while ago, which is good. But this week was not as good as last week. I should have known. Last week was a nice high, at least for how I've been doing recently. This week was not the lowest of the low, but it was a little bit back down. So, what goes up must come down, at least to some extent, I guess. But I feel better today. Better-ish. There's still like a little bit of tension in the pit of my gut. Like I said, not like in the past couple of weeks where I didn't have any fucking appetite or anything like that, and I just felt like shit all the time. This now, I'm, okay-ish. Still haven't been sleeping that great. Basically I'm back to a cycle of waking up after 3 hours and then falling asleep and waking back up like every hour or so, which isn't good. But, maybe I'll be able, like I said, weekends are for relaxing. The weekends are for relaxing. I should get a shirt made that says that. It's such a generic statement. That's my catchphrase, of course, is incredibly generic and mediocre. That's actually very fitting. I'm not thinking very highly of myself this week. Maybe I can change that for next week. But, I tried some things. I made my little depressive video. I even wrote in my journal again, which is something I haven't done in weeks. I have a journal, just in case you didn't know. I tried journaling a couple years ago and then stopped, and I think I threw the journal away at one point, but then I took it up again after I got fired because, why not become a fucking... why not just go full on depression? I was going to say why not become a 40-year-old woman, but that's kind of sexist. Not kind of sexist, that's just sexist. Yeah, so I wrote in my journal again. There was, when I first started doing it recently, this recent time, I was doing it like every day because I was fucking stressed and tensed out every day, but I sort of realized it was just becoming a habit, and like, it shouldn't be a habit, it should be when I want to do it. My problem with things is that I'm not good with spontaneity. I'm a guy who needs structure. But the problem is, structure can create monotony. There's a lot of glare here. Structure can create monotony. And monotony can make you bored and complacent. And that's what happens to me. Bored and complacent is kind of what got me to the point where I lost my last job. Because it was a job that was easy to get very bored and complacent. And speaking of jobs, we'll get to that. But, so I just wish I had more give a fuck in me, There's some people out there who can really take charge and change things and go out and take on the fucking world, and I got none of that in me. I really got none of that in me. It's not... It definitely seems like I'm lazy, but I don't think that does it justice, because I can work. When I know something needs to be done, and especially when I know how to do it and what to do, I can go do it. It's the figuring out what needs to be done. It's the figuring out how to do it. That's the hard part for me, and that's where I get complacent. That's where I get lazy. That's where it's just like, I don't know what to do, so I don't know if I should even do anything. Because I don't want to make things worse by doing the wrong thing, but doing nothing certainly isn't helping. I'm also kind of a coward because I'm too scared of going out and fucking up. I'm too scared of fucking up too much. I won't be able to fix things. Or fucking up and wasting time and having nothing to show for it. But it looks like I've already done that with my life, you know? I wasted a lot of time and I got nothing to show for it. As I was saying, for the new job, I don't know what the fuck is going on there. I talked about it on Monday, how they offered me a fucking promotion out of the fucking blue, even though I've only been there for a fucking week, which was really fucking weird. I turned him down for it. I turned him down as nicely as possible, said I still want to work here, but I have to turn down the offer. They didn't respond at all. This job, they don't respond to anything. They still haven't sent me the information I need on 2 of the fucking things that I got sent last week. So that means I have these 2 things just sitting around that have been in my place for over a week now. It's like, I certainly hope nobody wants them that badly, because until they send me the information... I even sent them a message like, hey, are you going to send me the shipping letter? They said, yeah, okay. And nothing. I'm getting nothing. No communication. This is the problem with every, but you know what? This is the problem with every job I've ever had. No communication. No boss wants to communicate. I'm so sick and tired of hearing that the people who fucking work down at the bottom are the lazy ones. In my experience, it's the people in charge who are the lazy motherfuckers. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to communicate with their subordinates at all. They don't want to fucking instruct you. They don't want to fucking supervise you. They don't want to fucking talk to you. They don't want to fucking know what's going on. All they do is come and fucking tell you that you've done wrong, because you've pissed them off. Not that you fucked up. It's not the fuck up that pisses them off. It's that you made them have to interact with you that fucks up, because that's the last thing they want to do. So don't tell me that American workers are fucking lazy. It's American supervisors and managers that are fucking lazy, and they set the tone at most businesses. Because they're the ones who are directly above all your fucking workers on the ground. And if they set the tone that, hey, fuck off, don't do shit, it doesn't fucking matter, well, guess what everyone else is going to act like? I come into every job all fucking panicky, full of anxiety, wanting to learn how to do everything so I can do everything fucking right and not fuck up. And then your instructions don't come from your boss. They come from fucking coworker who's been there for a while and now has to fucking pull double duty of doing their job while training you how to do yours, and they don't want to fucking do it. I've been in that position. Of course they don't want to fucking do it. And there's really nothing to fucking train, because you're just waiting for stuff to happen. So you don't even think of it until it happens. It's like, what does the manager or the supervisor want you to learn? They don't say. There's like, well, you should know how to do everything. How the fuck would you know? You've had no hand in this whatsoever, asshole. And I got these people who have given me the least bit of fucking guidance, but I guess I did a good job because they offered me a promotion in a week. So I must have been doing something. So I must have did what I was supposed to do right. It's not very hard. But honestly, this week I made 1 fucking delivery down to the post office for them. 1. With 3 of the 5 packages I got last week. I was expecting them to make it so that I have to deliver the other 2. Nothing. I'm expecting 2 more deliveries of packages today. Check the mailbox. They're still not here. I don't know if they're coming later. I don't know what. But that's fine. Okay? I'll send along the information as soon as I get them, and I'm sure, hopefully, I'll get some information back and I can make some more deliveries on Monday, and then we'll see what happens. I'm assuming it's just a slow time right now because of the time of year. It's fucking spring, summer, not people aren't sending a lot of packages. Maybe during the end of the year when, Christmas and shit comes along, we'll get more stuff. Or maybe there'll be some diversity of what's being sent, because I'm being sent these really tiny little packages. Not that I mind. It makes it certainly easier to handle, but, it seems to be the same thing over and over again. I mean, is this all you guys trade in? It's just very weird to me. We'll know if this is bullshit or not at the end of the month. We'll know full on. Right now, I mean, stuff is happening. I'm being sent stuff. I'm delivering stuff. If this is a scam, I don't see what it is. So we'll see at the end of the month when I get if I get a paycheck, then we'll know. Then we will know whether or not this is bullshit. So if I get a paycheck at the end of the month, it ain't bullshit because I got paid. So that's what matters. That's all the job shit, though. Really, what fucked me up this week? It's not even that. Even though I went looking at other jobs, like if I'm getting a part-time job to just because I need something to keep me busy during the week because I got nothing. So it's either a part-time job or I develop a hobby, but I can't think of really any interest I can throw myself into. That's the problem. So if this does work out and I do get paid at the end of this month, at the beginning of May, first thing I do is to look into some kind of fucking therapy or something. I need somebody to help me. Honest to God, just having once a week somebody to talk to would be great. Because I realize that's part of the reason I'm doing this. Even though I'm essentially talking to no one. It's at least the feeling that I'm talking to somebody. That I'm communicating. Because I got barely anybody to talk to. I got some people online. But, it's like... They're not... I don't want to say they're not really friends. They're the closest friends I got right now. But... they're not there. Like, I saw somebody posted something on Twitter this week about how, nobody mentions how it's impossible to make friends outside of, like, school or church when you're an adult. They said it's nearly impossible to make friends. And a lot of people disagreed. I felt some people were, like, kind of hard on them. Like, oh, it's not impossible. It's like, blah, blah, blah. It's like all that shit. It's just like, well, obviously this person has trouble making friends, which is something I can relate to. It's like if you've always had trouble making friends, then yeah. When you're an adult, it's especially difficult because you're not thrown into like social situations like you were when you were in school. But somebody said something along the lines of, it's not so hard to make friends as an adult. Like, you can reach out online to people. It's actually easier to find people with similar interests. But the issue is nowadays is that as you get older, you realize that all your actual friends who you were nearby, you've now all live in different places. So you're physically isolated. And that's what I find myself, physically isolated. And the problem with online friends is you never know when they're going to be there or not, or even when they're going to want to talk, or even when they respond to what you have to say. Because you're not that super tight with them. Hell, most of the time you don't even know their real names. So, it's hard to communicate with people like that. I went back to Facebook and saw some old messages I had from like weeks ago, months in some cases. And look who I wanted to respond to. I responded to some old coworker who sent me a message back when I first got fired. I didn't see it till like weeks later and I didn't respond right away, but I sent a response saying, thanks. It's been fucked up and thanks for reaching out. I think I asked her how she was doing. I don't remember. I reached out to my sister, who sent me a message from months ago, letting me know that my uncle was dead. Not really anything to feel bad about. I barely knew. I think I met the guy all of once. From what I remember, he was a fucking asshole, so... But, I felt bad for my cousins, his kids. I was close to them. I talked to my sister a little bit, but just like back and forth on Facebook Messenger. But it kind of went nowhere. That's the thing how it's always been with us. It's like, we don't have, other than genetics, we don't have anything in common. If we weren't family, we probably would never talk to each other. So it's just kind of like casual, like, how you doing, blah, 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 that shit, and then it goes nowhere. I am not a terribly interesting person. That's why I said, somebody said, like, maybe you could become a YouTube star. I'm like, nah, that ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. I am not a terrible... Everything about me is the epitome of mediocrity. I am so white and mediocre, I live the life of white mediocrity. That's how you know you're white, because there's a lot of white mediocre people who still end up being successful. But I'm so white and mediocre that I live the life of a completely mediocre white person. That's how mediocre I am. So, I'm really hating on myself a lot this week. But you know what? Sometimes you got it coming. So yeah, it's just been... This week fucking sucked. I don't even want to fall asleep. I've been like just watching shit on Netflix before I go to bed and then just passing out around 1. And I wake up around like fucking 3 or 4, and then it's just like every other fucking hour. I don't even know how I function like this. Somehow I do. I've been trying to go outside because the weather's been beautiful. Like I said, it's been lovely this week. The weather has been the nicest. This was probably the nicest week of the year weather-wise. It was, I don't think, the lowest temperature, I think this week was in the 50s. It's been in like the 70s the past 2 days. Mailman's coming around. Maybe he's got my shit that I'm expecting. But the weather's been fucking lovely. But it's like I go out and it actually makes me more depressed because I'm like, I got nothing to do outside. I got nowhere to go. Now, part of that is because we're still living in pandemic world, which, by the way, got my first shot, so that's taken care of. Other than arm soreness, I haven't had any side effects of it. Maybe it's worse when you get the second one. I don't know, but that I don't have to worry. That comes on the 28th. So, but by the end of this month, I'll be completely vaccinated. So I don't know what fucking difference that will make, but whatever. And if I have some very bad reaction, I'll record that too. I've been thinking about doing maybe reaction videos to fucking movies or something, but I'm still trying to figure out how to do that. I feel like I gotta get better editing. Maybe try to use better editing software. I don't know. I have to look in how the hell that works. It's a problem. I'm such a bad starter. I'm so lazy at starting things. Once I start things, I can get going. It's the starting. It's like, ugh, I don't want to. But then when I sit back, I can't. It's not like I can relax. I got my fucking mind chattering about how fucking useless I am. And that's not good. I cannot look more unappealing right now. So yeah, I don't know. I got things in mind. I have to stick to them too, though. I have to at least try shit. But there's always other fucking worries about money, worries about what I'm gonna do. Mailman just came by. After I'm done with this, I'll go check and see if he left me what I'm looking for. Actually, stay right here. It's not like you're going anywhere. I'll go check. He in fact did. I got my 2 new packages today, so there's that. I'm still working, technically. I don't know. Let's just go into the weekend. Try to enjoy ourselves. Try not to think about this shit. This week's over. There's no point in thinking about it anymore. It's done. The next week has not begun. There's no point in thinking about something that hasn't happened yet. Just enjoy the weekends are your fucking your negative, not your negative time, your they're kind of like, it's kind of like Schrodinger's time. You know the story of Schrodinger's cat? The theory that if you put a cat in a box and pump poison into the box, the cat is both dead and alive. You don't know if the cat's dead or alive until you open the box. So until you open the box, the cat is both dead and alive. What does that have to do with what the fuck I'm talking about? The weekend's kind of like that. Because nothing's bad or good in the weekend. Doesn't matter what you came from, doesn't matter what you're going to. Because the weekend is kind of just that in-between time where you just get to be whatever you want, at least for 2 fucking days. Whenever your weekends are. This is when my weekends are. So, I'm gonna fucking relax. I'm gonna chill the fuck out. I'm gonna watch some fucking movies tonight. And tomorrow night. I got some TV shows to catch up on streaming and stuff. So there's that. That's what I have on the weekends. It's something. It's not a lot, but it's something. And when you ain't got a lot, you gotta hold on to whatever the fuck it is you have. And who knows, maybe I'll even find some people to chat with. That'd be great. I ain't done yet. So things can get better. Things can always get better until you're just straight up fucking done, and I ain't done yet. That's a little over dramatic. But fuck it. I just gotta try harder. Try harder at what? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. But as soon as I figure out what it is I have to try harder at, I will definitely try harder at it. So until then, maybe I'll figure that out by next week. Who knows? Tune in then. You know, I think you're supposed to say like and subscribe. And, yeah. I'll see you next time, folks. Have a good one.